safe space to come together and feel community is really nice, especially if you don't find yourself feeling like you have community on a daily basis. Coming here and realizing you're really not alone is really beautiful.
And so many more will find that feeling of belonging today over at Hart Plaza during the second day of Motor City Pride. That's going to be kicking off right around noon when the parade kicks off as we work into the afternoon. So just under 4 hours till that parade steps off at noon today, happening along Griswold Street to Jefferson and over into Hart Plaza. From there, the largest Pride celebration in Michigan will spread across 3 stages: the Pyramid Stage with spoken word and drag performances, the Riverfront Dance pumping out that house and techno music we all know, and the Pride Stage where you will find our guest, the celebrity Grand Marshal for Motor City Pride, who you may know from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Jay Rodriguez joins us to talk about his stop here in Detroit today. Jay, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for having me.
So Jay, tell me, what does it mean for you to be a part of Motor City Pride here today as the Grand Marshal?
Well, thank you for that question, because I will tell you, as we all know, LGBTQ plus rights are under attack, and I think a lot of people feel really scared. And to your earlier, I heard that soundbite from the person sharing how this builds community. It really, I call it the biggest family reunion. It's very rare for all LGBTQ plus people to be in the same space, and here we can look around, remember, and feel that we are not alone, but also recharge our battery. The world can be a very scary place right now, but here everyone can feel safe to authentically be themselves, and that is a really good feeling. I want them to plug in, to sort of get energized again, and remember that we are in this fight together.
Jay, obviously Pride, a big thing this year. The last few years have been a paradox in the gay rights movement, and we've come so far, but we're still facing those pushbacks. Some have questioned the need for why we're still doing this. Why do you still think it is very important that we are still holding these Pride celebrations?
Yeah, look, I feel like, as opposed to our heterosexual counterparts, you know, our rights are constantly being taken away, our safety, our freedoms, and I think until we all have real lived equality, I don't think the fight is over. You have to remember, Pride began as a protest. It was a resistance about the opposition that was happening, and Americans, queer Americans, LGBTQ plus Americans did not feel safe. They did not have the same rights, and we're facing a lot of the same issues here today in 2025. So here's a chance not just for us as queer folk to come together, but also for our allies who love and support us. We are people's children, we are people's neighbors, we walk amongst you, we are not a threat. And if anything, this is a joyous time to remember that and celebrate that. We have a beautiful tent here that celebrates our history. I encourage all folks who come here, walk through the tent, look at the people who came before us, and be reminded of what they had to fight through. We've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go.
Jay, I think Motor City Pride's theme this year really reinforces that, and you and I, both as members of the LGBT community, realize how important it is for us we're still here, we're celebrating Pride. What do you think that means here when you're coming to Detroit to help us celebrate Motor City Pride this year, especially given national events going on right now?
Sure. I think for me, I feel very blessed that I get to travel all across the nation to all different kinds of prides in big cities and smaller cities. I did Cape Coral Pride earlier in the year. That is a very small pride in a very conservative part of Florida. And for that community, it was incredible to see how much of a sense of family that they built and how it helps them feel less alone. You know, there's always going to be protesters, there's always going to be people who disagree, but at the same time, being your authentic self changes it from them to, oh, that's my neighbor, or that's my friend, or that's my friend Brian who's on the news talking to Jay. It makes our world so much smaller and humanizes us to the lived experience. Listen, Queer Eye back in the day, 22 years ago, season 1, no one wanted to work with us vendor-wise. We had a hard time. The minute the show became a hit, we were globally accepted and doors opened. But that was 22 years ago, and we still couldn't at that time. Queer folk, same-sex marriage was not the law law of the land. And so we have had some wins, but as we know right now, we have to push back on legislation that makes us govern us in a way that is unequal and unjust. And I think people know that. And I think yesterday I was here, the feeling of community, the sense of pride and joy was so palpable. I encourage all folks to come down and experience it for themselves.
Jay Rodriguez, we've come so far, yet we've got so much further to go. Jay Rodriguez from Queer Eye with a Straight Guy, the Grand Marshal of Motor City Pride here in downtown Detroit. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me here this morning. I hope to see you as I head downtown for Motor City Pride late this afternoon. Thanks
I was
so much
about
for being
to say,
here.
Brian, come on, get over here. Come on, you're late. Let's go.
We're just down the block, so as soon as I get out of here, I'm changing and I'm coming down there today. So, Jay, thanks so much for
Okay, make sure you come say hi.
I will,
See
for
you
sure.
soon.
I'll find everybody down there. So, Jay, thanks so much for talking with me this morning.
Sounds
we really
good.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye. See ya.